guys, welcome to my channel. This is Chester and we are here in my channel called Chester and Music. So today I'll be talking about a quick review, a quick unboxing, not really unboxing, a quick review of this guitar. So this guitar is actually Higher Ground Acoustics. Okay, this particular model is the HG80, so you can check them out. And this is a small size guitar that is actually, it feels similar to the Taylor GS Mini, but at a much lower price. So this particular guitar has a solid spruce top and layered mahogany back and sides. Alright, so it has your typical pins, strung with 12 gauge by default and medium frets by default. So and the nut and saddle is Tusq and the pins are plastic. So without further ado, I just want to give you guys this is more of a double video, so I'll be talking a little bit about this guitar and I'll be showing you guys on how to restring your instrument. Okay, so I just got this a day ago, so the only thing I did was to adjust the action, tune it up, that's all. So I didn't restring it or didn't polish it yet. So I want to show you guys how we do it. So this is just a rough demo of the sound before I restring and everything, alright? Okay, so yes, this guitar it looks great basically, and I especially love small form factor guitars, but the issue with a lot of small bodied guitars is because of the physical reduction in volume, the sound tends to be weaker, tends to be not as full compared to a standard GA size guitar. So I'm always looking for guitars that can produce and retain as much of that original fullness as much as possible. So this guitar definitely has potential, so let's get right into it. Okay, so taking a look at our items here. First we have a guitar stand, sort of, yeah, so just to put our neck in place. Tuner, just to make tuner just for, that's for the end. Okay, we're gonna be using bone pins for this project. Okay, cloths to wipe dry and to expand the string, to stretch the string. Alright, couple of clippers, cutters. Okay, auto sew, so metal polish. This is from Music Nomad, so this is a tool so you can wipe and clean your fretboard. Standard yellow tape. This is a drill bit adapter for your pack. What we're going to do is we're going to be fixing it onto the, we have an automatic screwdriver here. So just a word of caution, okay, if you're going to be using this, I got this from IKEA. If you're going to be using something that you can control the torque with, make sure you set it to low. So I set it to just on the third setting, alright? And oh yeah, strings, so we're going to be using Elixir mediums for this. So be extra careful here. You don't want to cut yourself because the ends of the string is actually quite sharp. Okay. When you're removing the bridge pins, if you're going to be using this, okay, be extra careful with it. When you're removing it, you want to pull up directly. You do not want to pull and then angle, because you don't want to break the bridge pin and then risk getting it stuck. Alright, so you just grip it. Okay, let me hold the camera closer. Okay, grip it and pull upwards directly, right? And just repeat for the other strings. Okay, so if your nut, if your nut dropped out because the original manufacturer did not glue it in place, it's fine. Just leave it there. Just put it back on first. Okay, now we have the bare fretboard and the body. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm actually putting a little bit of auto sole, so just a little bit. Okay, you see, that's just a little bit. Okay, wrap it around your finger and just polish it. Just a few ups and downs will do. It doesn't need to be extra shine because we have 22 frets, so you gotta repeat this for 22 times, so you do not need to polish so many times per fret or else you're gonna cry. Once you are done, you can dispose the tape. Okay, and you can close back the auto sole tube. You won't be needing it anymore. Okay, after you're done, you notice that there is actually quite a number of, it's actually quite dirty now because of all the powder and everything. So if you are putting on the table, just flick it, take it away, and just use the brush to just brush it like that. Okay. Okay, after that, your next step is to polish the frets. Okay, so what I'm going to do is use the tool and do this. Okay, do it on both sides. Alright, now the fretboard is shiny. So now what we want to do is we want to use our liquids. Okay, so the lemon oil is for the fretboard, whereas the other two is for the body. Okay, so let's use the lemon oil first. So give it a good shake first. Okay, but take note that do not use lemon oil on maple fretboards. All right, just don't. In the meantime, use a clean cloth if you have, if some of the stains that you are cleaning the board have touched the wood of the body of the guitar. Just use a clean cloth to wipe it. It should come off easily. Alright, so you don't need to leave it on for a long time. So after you've applied it, you can actually take it off already. So let's remove it. Okay, now the fretboard is done, so let's move on to the body itself. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to be using this first. This will be to clean the body. So do not spray directly on the board, on the guitar, right? Spray on the cloth and then use the cloth to wipe it in a circular fashion. You don't need to use a lot of strength, just moderate but firm. Make sure there is no visible droplets of liquid. Okay, now that's done. So we put this aside. Now last step is to polish it. So this is a clamp polish. Okay, same thing, spray on the cloth and then you apply it on the body. Remember, circular motion, not too much force. Okay, now we are good. So we're going to be taking out the bridge pins. So make sure you don't lose them, alright? 6 pieces. So what you're going to do first is you want to test fit, okay, the pin onto the bridge itself. Just do a quick test fitting. See, you notice that you are not going it down fully. Alright, so now what you need to do is, here comes the tedious part. You need to sand it. So yeah, I have some sandpaper here. So what you're going to do is you take the pin, okay, wrap it around and just turn it. Alright, so make sure you turn gently. Something like that. Okay. Okay, so make sure you don't over foul it. So after a few turns, check with the guitar body to make sure that you don't make it too small. Okay, so now we have already filed down the pins, so you can see that it is slightly more fouled. Yeah, I don't have a machine to do it, so unfortunately. But yeah, you don't need to go down all the way. So as long as it's a tight fit, that will do. Alright. So now we are going to install the strings now. So don't forget about the nut. Okay, so let's just put it back there. Okay, so one tip I like to do is to take a pencil, preferably mechanical pencil, okay, and just color in the grooves. So what this does is I'm creating the lead is the pencil lead will actually the pencil lead will actually smoothen out you'll prevent too much friction. Alright. Okay, so yeah, we are going to be using Elixir 13s for this. So I'll be installing the 6th string first, which is the thickest. Okay, so what you want to do is, when we don't just slide it in, you want to bend it where you want to bend the string where the thick part is. Okay, just bend it about 70 to 80 degrees, about like that. Yeah. So what this does is, when you put in the pin, right, the angle will prevent the pin from popping out when you are tightening up the string. So when you're putting in, put in more than usual. Okay, then slide the pin in. So make sure the angled part, there's a part where it ridges in, that part will be facing the head of the guitar. Okay, and then you pull up the rest of the string. Okay, so make sure it is quite tight but not too tight. Okay. Okay, so make sure you are tying to the correct post on the head. Okay, so you want to use about 1.5. So if you about 1.5, and then you cut it. Alright, so about like that. Okay, and cut it. So make sure you hold both ends, if not the string will fly off. Okay. So yeah, when you are tightening it, right, you want to always use your index finger, put it here to guide the string in, and use the rest to hold it. But you're not holding it very tightly, you're just guiding it. Alright, at the same time, do not turn too fast and take a look at the bridge pin, right? Make sure it does not pop out. Okay, repeat for all the other strings. Okay, so now after you have roughly tuned it up to relatively pitch, okay, installed. Now it's time to take the tuner, okay, turn it on, and you want to there's two things you need to do. Okay, so first thing is your right hand, your right palm, okay, rest it, make sure, okay, you press it first just to make sure there is no give. Okay, don't press too hard. All right, hold the palm over here on the pins. Okay, so if it pops out, you can feel it. You don't need to pop out and then you have to dig all over the room trying to find it. Okay, hold it down and start from the 6th string to the 1st string. Tune it up to pitch, but it doesn't need to be exactly in pitch, just almost there is good enough. Okay, that is only a part of the whole thing. So now we have just roughly tuned it up to, relatively is about plus minus half a step. So the next step now is we're going to be stretching the strings. So take a clean cloth, okay, preferably not as rough as the previous one. Okay, so what we're going to do is hold it like that. Okay, hold the string, one string at a time. All right, remember, right palm still on the bridge. You don't want the pins to drop out. All right. Okay, and what we're going to do is take 3 rounds. So 1, 2, and 3. At the same time, you want to lift up the string up a bit, but not too much. Okay, so something like this: 1, 2, 3. Okay, that is 1 string. Repeat that for all 6 strings. Okay, once you're done, okay, take out your tuner and tune it again. Okay, so this time you're going to start tuning from the 1st string. So the tuning is, in terms of 6th to 1st, is E, A, D, G, B, E. Okay, I repeat again: E, A, D, G, B, E. There, it sounds much better, but we're not done yet. Okay, so now repeat this entire process again. So by the time the 2nd time you have done the stretching, you should be tuning them to exactly as accurate as possible. Okay, so now you are mostly done, so you can either choose to stretch them one more time. For me, twice is enough, because by now you've been stretching the strings a lot already, so they should keep in tune for a long time. But I would say the first couple of days, it would still run a little bit here and there, so just make sure you take out a tuner before you tune. Okay, so now we are going to the last step. So the last step is adjusting the action of this guitar. So this particular guitar, there is a truss rod adjustment over here inside the sound hole, so we'll be using an Allen key. Okay, so an Allen key looks like this, so make sure it is the correct size for your guitar. So what you're going to do now is, okay, you want to hold before you adjust first, okay, you want to hold the guitar by the top by the bottom, sorry. Okay, you want to look, okay, use the first pin as your reference point and look it down towards the first fret. Okay, you want to make sure that the gap between the string and the fingerboard is not too high. Okay, so it should be, and it shouldn't be too bent as well. It should be relatively straight. Okay, so for mine currently it's a little bit high, so let me see if I can adjust it. Okay, remember to lower the action, you want to tighten it, which means you want to turn it away from you. To increase the action, you want to turn it towards you. So depending on your country, you might want to tighten or loosen according to the guitar. So when you are turning the action, when you're adjusting the action on the guitar, take note that this is very, very delicate. So do not turn it too many times at one go. Alright, turn it maximum 2 turns. Okay, and then check again. So I just did one, so I'm going to do another one. So now what you do is play each string and each fret until about the 4th fret to make sure there is no buzzing. You heard that? Yeah, that zzz sound, yes. So if you hear buzzing, means that the action is too low. So now you need to increase it back a little bit to compensate. Alright, now after you have already compensated, so it should be optimal. So depending on your strumming, if you are a very hard strummer, you need to increase the action a little bit more. But if you're a very light strummer, you can afford to have the action reduced. Alright, so now the final step is to tune back the guitar and make sure, because this is the final tuning, make sure that it is in tune. Alright, so yes, that concludes the end of how to restring your guitar. So the steps I did was actually extremely comprehensive. So if you want to do just a basic restringing, it's fine. Alright, so what you need to do for just a basic restringing, take out the strings, just do a very quick cleaning, okay, put in the new strings, and done. Alright, just make sure don't lose your pins. Alright, it's gonna be, if not, it's gonna be very troublesome. Alright, so this is actually my first time videoing on how to restring, so pardon me if it's a little bit long-winded or I seem a little bit lost, cause on camera things seems to be a little bit more stressful. Alright, so this is the new guitar now with Elixir 13s on it. Okay, so I'm going to play a little bit, let you all hear the sound difference. So my impressions of it is definitely louder. I'm not sure if it's because of the 13 gauge 13 or the bone pins. I'm not too sure about that. So put in a comment section which one do you think was a major contributing factor. Alright, so as you can see, it's definitely shinier than usual. So I'm a fan of bling, so we'll check that out. Yeah. So yes, I hope you have enjoyed this video as much as I did. It took me quite a lot of effort to produce this video. So yes, like this video if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. So Chester Music is a music channel that aims to help everyone. Alright, whether is it guides, restringing, shows, and more. Alright, so put in the comment section, what do you want to see in an upcoming video? Alright, and we'll try our best to fit it in. Alright, if not, that's all for today. This is Chester here, and see you guys.